Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Nurse Monique for those that are new to this channel. I'm a YouTuber based in Jos, Nigeria, and today's video is a sit down video. A few weeks ago I posted a video about a tour to my local pig farm here in Jos Plateau State, and I got a lot of love on that video. A lot of people DM'd me asking me questions. Some people even gifted the lady who works for me. See, I was so emotional. I posted that video not feeling like it wasn't good enough. I didn't even know a lot of people would love that video. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't take it for granted. And to the subscriber who gifted the lady, thank you so much. Like, I was so happy because she deserves it. She's an amazing woman, and you putting a smile on her face was just amazing. Thank you so much. May God bless you, and for wherever that came from will be multiplied in hundredfold in Jesus' name. Amen. So without wasting more time, I'm going to jump right into the video. And disclaimer, I'm not a professional pig farmer, all right? Most of the things I'm going to be saying, I'm just going to be saying based on my own personal experience. I've been doing this business since 2019, so I'm going to be answering based on my own personal experience and experiences of other people that are close to me. So in case you can still ask for professional advice from other people who are like full-time pig farmers, okay? But me, it's just like a side hustle. It's not really what I do 100% of the time. So without wasting more time, I'll jump right into the video. So they asked, I'm going to be looking at my phone as well, reading out the questions in case you see me looking down. So the first question is, what do I need to know before starting a pig farm? Okay, the first thing I'll advise anyone wanting to start up a pig farm is to have a budget. Have a budget that you want to work with, just like any other business. You have a budget that you're setting aside for this business. This way you know how to plan around the budget that you have. It just makes the work easier for you when you have a budget, knowing what to work with. Then the second thing I'm going to talk about in starting this is to know the kind of pen that you want to have. Do you want to have an IMO pen? Do you want to have a structured pen? This refers me back to that budget that I talked about. So with your budget, you need to know what would work for you. Would it be the structured pen? Would it be the IMO pen? Some people prefer IMO pen. Some people prefer the structured, like building with blocks, zinc, gates, cement, and all that. But your IMO pen, you don't need those things. You just need few things to actually create this pen. So it depends on what you want and the budget that it sits in. As well, on your pen, you need to look for a good location. You need to look for a place that have access to water, because you drink a lot of water, and that's just basically it for the pen. The second thing I'm going to talk about is the feed. I feel like you should before you even buy the piglet, I feel like you should have pigs feed on ground. Like, they eat a lot. I know you hear a lot of people say pigs eat anything, but my dear, if you want your pig to be big that people will come and buy and price you well, you need to feed them. So you need to ensure that, for me, I would advise you even buy feed down first before you buy your piglets or your winners or the growers, whichever one you want to buy. But ensure you have pig feed down. And like, if you want formulations about feed, you can as well DM me. I would reply. I would give you formulations that have to do with we have formulations that includes soya bean cake, potassium, corn, sweet potatoes, salt, pigito, granite cake, pancake cake, PKC. There are a lot of feeds. They have local feeds that people bag, and we buy them in bags here. I don't know which state you are in or how it's being sold there, but here in Jos, we have where they grind things. You just go there, you buy the chaff, and then you mix it and you give it to them. Like me personally, I give them dusa. Dusa is corn, like the chaff of corn. I mix it with chaff of rice. I mix it with there's one thing I don't really know what it's called in English, but acha chaff. I add that. Then in the afternoon I give them vegetables. Sometimes it's cabbage, sometimes there are leaves that they can eat, so we pluck them, we give it to them as lunch. And then in the evening I give them water, or later after the food I give them lots of water. In the evening I just give them something simple. Sometimes is I keep buckets for people to give me like waste from their houses, and I pour it and I give to them. Other times you can as well mix your feed with blood. There's something we call blood meal, and we do that. So there are a lot of things you can actually feed them, but you also want to ensure that whatever you're feeding them will make them grow big. Do you understand? And it's good. The next thing I'm going to talk about, anybody that is starting a pig farm, is the breed. This I didn't know about. I thought pig is pig. So then when I was starting, I went and I started with about 10 piglets, and I bought the first four. I bought four for two from different pen. So the first four I bought they were frustrating me. They were local, like extra local pigs. The breed was horrible. It didn't grow. For months I was feeding them, giving them everything. It was not growing. And then the people I had gotten pigs with earlier, their own was growing, and I was wondering what's happening. Why is my own not growing? Is it that I'm not feeding them well? I will go and ask this one, they will say put this one, I will put, do like this, I will do. It was later someone told me that your breeds are not good, dispose them off and get a new breed, and you see it. And I actually saw it. So I would not want you to make that mistake, feeding, wasting your time, your money, your energy, and it's not growing. So I will tell you that you should be careful about the breed. We have a lot of breed, right? And before you also buy, ensure to check the history of that pig from the buyer. Ask them questions. Have they been vaccinated? We have different breed that you can buy. We have the large white, we have the land race, we have Duroc, we have the local breed, we have the semi-local, we have local. You shouldn't get that one at all, not for anything. Even if it's sold for 200 naira, don't buy. We have the Poland China, we have the Canberra, and yeah, there are different ways for you to know this pig. Large white, like the name implies, you see it big. And we start pictures for Duroc, landrace is usually long and slim. For Canberra is the mouth, like their head is bent down like this. Yeah, there are a lot of things used to differentiate them. Their ear, there are so many things, but just ensure you are buying a good breed. This way you don't have to spend so much time feeding and then it's not growing. The next thing I'm going to talk about is space. In as much as you want to buy, right, ensure that you have a good space for them. This also enhances their growth, so you don't need to go and pack 20 piglets in one tiny room. No. So ensure that you have a good space. Like I'm going to advise, for the piglets you should not have more than 12 in a pen. For the winners you should have around 8 to 10 10 maximum, right? For growers you should have 5 to 7, and for the finishers or the big ones, like, you shouldn't have more than 3 in a pen. So this way is going to help their growth rate, because when they are so much in a pen, the way they grow, it's lesser, and you would not want that. So you should have a good space as well, that they can move around easily, eat well and all that. Because sometimes most of them tend to cheat the other ones. You see one eating, and then the other one is not eating. So you need. So this is what I'm going to advise for any breed at all that you're getting, but the size, like I've mentioned. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is do not buy so much as a beginner. I didn't know this then, because the evil girl in me was like, the more the more piglets I have, the more chances of me making more money. So then I started with 10. Although I know if I had gotten good breeds, it would not be a problem, but you should buy what you can handle. course that time when they start feeding, eating, you start feeling bad because it's expensive, to be honest. Like currently their feed you used to buy for 3,500, then right now you see them for 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, depending on where you're buying from. And this was for 3,500. Then I could buy like 3 bags and I was managing myself. But now even 1 bag, you see me crying because I don't have the money. But so you need to ensure if you have a smaller quantity, you take care of them more than you having large quantity that you can't take care of. So I'm going to advise you start small. Don't go and buy 30 pigs at the same time, 20 pigs, except you know you have the capacity. Why not go ahead if you know? But if you know you can't, please start small. You can start with 5, 4, 2, 3, okay, 10 max at least for a beginner. Later you can add. The next thing I'm going to be talking, and another reason why I feel like you should do this is so that you should be familiar with with the business, the familiar with the pig, familiar with how they eat, familiar with everything. Then you know how to manage them properly and you can add as much as you want. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is I don't really okay. Someone asked me a question: does the sex really matter? To me, I think if you're doing it for business, right? Except you just want to be keep looking at pigs, you should have more females because they have to reproduce for you. But like here, excuse me. But like here, the boa sells small, like it's more expensive, especially when you castrate them. They grow way bigger. But the female, you know, they reproduce and reproduce and reproduce for you. And because their birth doesn't take long, they give birth in 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. Except something happens and you see her giving birth in 4 months, but it's 3 months, 3 weeks, 2 days. So if you have like a lot of dam, you see them, this one reproducing, like me, because I don't want to stress her too much. I have more than one dam, but I don't want to stress them too much. When she gives birth, I allow her. Why is she walking up and down? Or 2 months, and then I cross her again. The next thing I'm going to also advise is do not abandon your pigs for somebody. Okay, like the first time I started, I didn't really know much about the business, and the person I employed at the time had a pig farm, so I felt like, oh, he was a better option to take care of it for me. But this person in return showed me shege. And for a beginner, that was bad. I would have like invested more time. So I would advise you to invest more time into the business, learn a lot of them, watch them. When do you vaccinate them? When is their stool changing? When they start stooling a white stool, you know that this a problem, emergency, call for help. You know, sometimes you see their eye changing, maybe it's an infection. When they're on heat, you need to take note of all these things, okay? But if you have someone that you can trust so much, no problem. But I'll also advise that you always put time, go and check to know what's happening. Like right now, because of the lady that works for me, she's so good that I can even leave her for 4 months and I'm not scared. I know that the pigs are in good hands. But before now, it took me a while to get to that point where I actually have a good person. But don't just leave your business for anybody, okay? At least try to invest more time. This way you have this way you get to take care of your pigs more. Always check, don't just leave it for anybody. I think yeah, that's just it. And then the next question is how about the water supply? How do you do it? Okay, like for me, where I am, I don't have a nipple. There's something we call a nipple. It looks like nipple, human being nipple, that the pig sucks from. I'm going to insert a clip so you probably see what I'm talking about. But like where I am, I don't have access to that. What I have access to is well. So I just go and fetch water in a bucket and I turn it in for them and they drink. So that's just basically it. And that's all you need to know basically. So I've answered all the questions and that I was asked, and yeah, I've come to the end of this video. So in case you're planning or thinking of a side hustle to do, you can think about pay grade. It's actually money in the business, at the same time there's loss, okay? But I feel like if you adhere to certain things, you're good to go. And yeah, so if you've watched right to this end, thank you so much. If you've not subscribed, please go and subscribe, like, and share this video. It helps YouTube algorithm recommend my videos to people who actually need this kind of content. Thank you so much for watching, and until I see you in my next video, bye.